To the beat home. To the beat home. To the beat home. To the beat home.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. We finally made it through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Happy Friday. Friday is here, y'all. It is the beginning of the weekend, baby. And welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, your information, inspiration, motivation in the morning, conversation that promotes elevation. That part. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter, X at the JDMS, and on YouTube at 100BLK Media. Good morning to you. Man, this week has went by like that. Just like that. Just like that. Listen, it is the weekend before the Bayou Classic. The weekend before the Bayou Classic. Next week will be the Bayou Classic edition of hashtag Truth Be Told JD Live. As you see, I am decked out all in Southern University attire. As many of you know, I have been the sideline reporter and one of the guys who does a lot of work with the coaches show at Southern University for the last 16 years. I really had to sit down and think about that this morning. 16 years. I have been on the sidelines with the Southern University. Of course, it is not my school, but I am a son of Southern. I have been there, have seen many coaches, very good friends with the great Pete Richardson. Of course, a lot of folks know me. I started my HBCU journey at Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee. But when it came down to athletics and media and being on the sidelines, I started at the Grambling State University with Coach Eddie Robinson and the immortal first quarterback to win a Super Bowl was coach of Grambling, Coach Doug Williams. So So I was with the late great Eddie Robinson, actually when he broke Bear Bryant's record, and had a lot to do with working with Sports Illustrated and working with ESPN and helping getting that information out to the masses. I never forget that day like it was yesterday. But good morning to y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday. Uh, I hope my guys come in today. I don't know if they're going to come in today because it's Friday, and we are all just trying to, hey, we are trying to. I'm trying to relax. This is my last relaxed weekend. This weekend, I have no football games. It is a bye week. I get to sit down and watch football. I get to sit around. I get to clean some weapons. I went to the firing range last night, did a little night fire. So I have weapons I need to clean. One I need to fix. So, and people who know me, not only do I do this and have conversation, I am a big gun guy. I am a big gun guy, and I have a lot of weapons, different shapes, different sizes. But one of my pistols I got to do some work on today. And really, this is just the beginning of me having a relaxing weekend because I don't have any games, no basketball games, no football games. I'm not doing anything media orientated except this podcast and letting you know next week, the whole week is dedicated to the Bayou Classic. And we'll be broadcasting live from New Orleans. We'll be doing stuff all week long from New Orleans. We're going to broadcast live from the Battle of the Bands. We're going to be broadcasting live from the actual game. So I'll be actually doing a 1-hour podcast, hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, from the Bayou Classic during the Bayou Classic. So get ready to catch that on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is next week. It's Thanksgiving weekend next weekend. It is Black Friday next Friday. Next Friday is Black Friday. Now, there's a lot of folks talking about they're boycotting Black Friday because of the treatment of Black and brown folks and this government shutdown that is no longer a government shutdown, though it was the longest government shutdown in government history. Y'all got to pay attention. One of my guys is coming in. Big Jace is coming in from Germany. I see him. He is broken Berlin. I got nothing but love for my brother. Y'all put your hands together for a scholar, a bartender, a brother that I got a lot of love for, but I love him because he's so authentic. Sometimes we're too busy trying to be somebody we not. This brother gonna be who he is, and he said you're gonna like it, and if you don't like it, you're gonna leave him alone. That's the type of dudes I like rolling with. That's why I consider him my friend. He don't know I got plans on next year. Me and him we're gonna have a drink in Berlin because I'm coming back to Germany. I'm coming back to Germany. I don't think so. But y'all put your hands together. My brother from another mother. My man. You see him.
I cannot let that amazing grandfather that for those who didn't get that joke, he hit y'all with the LL going back to Cali with the y'all don't. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to pause and just let us reflect on that moment of comedy that most people didn't catch. I hope when I'm your age, there's going to be somebody who will let everyone know that I'm funny too.
Hey,
that was great, man.
Jace.
Yes.
I let me tell you something. If I could tell you something, my good friend, you better enjoy it. Listen, this time floats, man. I was just yesterday at the gun range because my eyesight isn't what it used to be. I wear glasses, have been wearing glasses for the longest, but really my eyesight during thyroid issues and diabetes and some of the things that were brought on by me serving this country as a soldier, officer, and a gentleman. One of my weapons went down that has we got a thing on it called a red dot, so you're kind of better able to see. So my red dot weapon went down, and I had to go back to the old school where you use the sights.
Yeah.
And bro, when you shoot at nighttime and you ain't as young as you used to be, them sights don't look the same. You know, and it humbled me to realize that Father Time is undefeated. Enjoy the moment, enjoy your children. I posted a picture of my grandson this morning on social media.
I saw it, man. It was
Listen,
amazing.
listen, bruh. I have my first grandchild. He is going on 2 years old. He'll be 2 years old in July of next year, but he's 1 right now. And like I tell people, he's literally reincarnation of my father.
Mhm.
And you know, people always ask me, man, you kind of Dapper Dan too. I know Mr. Bowtie is known to be the Dapper Dan of the clique, but I know you dress well too. And I get everything from my daddy. And it seems to be because my grandson looks so much like my father. You know, people
Mhm.
always say, well, who he look like? He looked like my daddy.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting to follow in those footsteps. But man, enjoy the time with your children. Keep doing what you're doing in Berlin, brother. Be exact. Isn't it getting kind of cold over there right
It
now?
it is. It just started. I actually started my detox because the winter's coming, and this is I speak to guys who are African and other Black people who are here, and kind of when they're new, to let them know about, hey, this weather ain't for us. You got to do certain things to combat this winter depression. So I've been telling people, let's go ahead and start our New Year's resolutions now,
Mm-hmm.
because what happens for a lot of people in Germany, especially Thanksgiving till the New Year, it's glutton time, and then what happens is by New Year's Eve, if I went on the same pattern that I was doing maybe in the last month and a half, I would have to lose probably 25 pounds by January. So I was
Wow.
like, let me just go ahead and do this now and go ahead and start losing 12 pounds. And then it's half the work versus me just, I'll do this for one more month. And so, no, it's cold. And when it's cold, you drink the Glühwein. Oh, God, that Glühwein.
The Glühwein, that's
Hey,
it.
no,
That's
that when it's cold, y'all don't understand. If y'all have not had heated wine or a heated cider when you cold, that is medicine. Your toes get warm, and everything is all right with the world. That shit is addictive. I, it
okay.
is.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
so I don't know if you've seen this.
Okay.
And look, you and I, hold it. First of all, Jace, how old are you?
I am 43. I'll be 44 in January.
Okay. So, Jace, you recall this happening. You probably grew up in this type of household back when you were living in the United States in the Oklahoma. You from Oklahoma, right? Okay,
Absolutely,
in the
Langston,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yes.
Okay, so listen. Right now on social media, there is a Caucasian lady who is a school teacher from Mobile, Alabama.
Saw that.
I go to Mobile quite often because folks who know me, you
Mhm.
know, I'm the type person, I can't run off to Cabo and I can't run off to these exotic places like Bali but I have a place that I call it the Po Man's Bali and I go to Orange Beach quite often. I frequent Orange Beach so
You,
much
you
that
you go to
people
Biloxi and say it's Hawaii? Is that what you do?
bruh, yeah, I don't go to Maui. I show up in Gulfport and Biloxi and be like,
Hey,
I'm on the beach, baby. But
hey,
hold it,
yeah,
folk who
yeah.
know me, and I don't call it the po man's, but I call it I can still experience what you experience, but I might not have to spend as much money as you spend. This lady, I go to Mobile quite often. I
Yeah.
happen to have people I know in Mobile, friends in Mobile. We have a football game we play about every other year in Mobile. That I'm there in Mobile, Alabama. Love Mobile, Alabama. Love it. Love it. This lady put belt to ass to her child.
Not
She put
really.
she put and I'll be honest with you. If y'all
Mhm.
call that child abuse, I got abused my whole child life.
Right?
Because hold it, my mom would be known that if I did something that she did not feel like I should have did. Now, listen to what I said. I didn't have to be wrong. I just had to
Right.
be in the spirit of my mama said, I don't feel like what you did was up to my standards of what needed to be done. My mama would, in the middle of the stove, put belt to ass. Worse than that woman put belt to ass to her child. But in these days and times, in 2025,
Hmm.
putting belt to ass like that will not only make you a social media sensation, it will get you fired from your job, which she did. It will get you arrested, which she was, and it will get you charged with child abuse. Now, I got to ask this question,
Okay.
not only to you, but to everyone out there that is in social media world watching this and everybody who will watch this. I'll be honest with you. I really don't agree with that. Because here's the point. If she can't discipline her child, who do you expect to discipline her child? The world, the police? Because once again, if her child goes out there and does something to an authority figure and an authority figure tells him to stop and he doesn't stop, he may wind up worse than belt to ass. He may wind up shot, arrested, beat down, pepper sprayed, tasered.
But if you want to look at the big picture and you don't want him to have any type of issues with women in his adulthood, the person who should be doing the discipline should be the father. Me and my ex have this deal. When it comes to discipline, I don't give any discipline to my daughter. Zero discipline to my daughter. I've never once. I don't spank my daughter. I don't do any of that because I don't want her to end up having issues or any type of psychological weird shit in her life as picking as adult. And my son, we had a whole conversation because my ex has a temper. And I was like, look, you don't want him to end up dealing with a type of woman that is going to end up being the wrong type of woman. So when it comes to discipline, I'll take care of that because one, I'm not going to be out of control. And when I saw the video, again, she didn't go crazy. She gave the boy pad and he had pants on. But the problem was the after effect of the emasculation. The
vulgarity, the cursing.
That wouldn't have happened with his father. When fathers discipline, they're usually holding back because they understand their strength. Women don't. And this is something that I've always said that's kind of an issue in our Black community we haven't dissected. Again, I say it all the time, seeing drunk people fight. When a man has beaten the person that he's fighting, he channels the mother who beat him. He starts to sound like the mother who beat him. And he won't stop hitting somebody until somebody pulls him off. The same way that our mothers wouldn't stop beating us until they got tired. I am a firm believer that sometimes discipline is needed. Absolutely. He didn't do the dishes. Can you not have a conversation with him? You could, but you don't have the structure in your household to do that. And the last thing I want to say is that if you're a single mother and the father's not in the house, then your child is going to have certain issues by being in a single parent house. You cannot discipline him that way because it's your fault that he's not having, you and the father built this. And now you're frustrated because he's not being the way you want him to be. It is your responsibility. So you need to come up with other ideas. Like, I understand me and my kids, they have certain issues with paying attention or whatever. And I tell my ex, I'm not in the house with you. So they're not from a broken home, but they do have certain issues because we broke up and we have to acknowledge that. We couldn't make it together. So when our children have certain dysfunctions or certain attributes that are maybe because I'm not in the house every single day with her and the children. I see my kids every day, but I'm not in the house with her. So the kids will have some sort of, not dysfunctions, but they're going to have some sort of issues.
Deficiencies because
Thank you. Yes.
The lack of let's use a proper word here. There is a lack of an individual that under normal circumstances should be there. So they are deficient of something that should be there, but it's not there for whatever reason.
And if she's frustrated by that, which I understand, I understand you're frustrated, but this is the reality. You grew up with a mother and a father. I grew up in a single parent home. So I understand that they're acting out. They're trying to get attention. They're maybe bored. They need to be outside. Have they sported today? Well, I try to do that on a daily basis. But if I'm not in the house to remind of that, then she's going to get frustrated. And as a father, I think we're supposed to be the buffer in the household between the mother's idiocracies and the children's. We got to be we're the peace between the kids' anarchy and the mother's like, calm down. The father's supposed to be there to kind of be the liaison of that.
Right.
If that's not there and she's frustrated and now she's beating him out of frustration, she's in the wrong. What should have happened is, who are the men in your family? Who are the men that he looks up to in your family? The people who are in his DNA bloodline. Those are the only men who should be putting any type of physical exertions of discipline onto your children. Is only people who actually have love for your children, not the stepdad, not the guy you crushing with, not the person that you pay in to be like the football mentor coach. No, only people who put physical harm in the name of love on children should be the men who are in his actual blood family, because they know that it's needed maybe, but they know the outcomes of doing it the wrong way. And I think men who have been beaten understand and know the right way to give out that sort of discipline if they've healed and gone through therapy and did the right things.
Well, family, I've got to do it. I wasn't going to do it, but I looked and said, you know what, Joe, this is a good time to do it on this Freedom and Fun Friday. For he that the sun sets free is free indeed. I'm opening up the phone lines. So if you're right now wanting to get your opinion in about this whooping, because she put belt to ass. She didn't put belt to ass like my mama put belt to ass. My mama
it was a Boondocks moment.
Right. If my mama was still living, Miss Earlene Anderson would have said, child, you just gave that boy a couple of love taps. I don't really know if he got the message. Now, I agree with Jason, Broken Berlin, that it's the emasculation. I had not a problem with the whooping, but I did have a problem with the tone of voice and the things that were said, because once again,
you're forcing him to hold back. He's a human being, and she's choking him up. His instinct is to hit her. He is a human being,
right?
And he's having to hold back. And this is what happens in our relationships. We're taught to hold back when women are physical with us.
Hold on. And right now, that's what she's doing. She's teaching him. This is how, when your significant other, the person that you love, that is outside of me, that you are intimate with, that you feel like it's a person you may want to spend some time. See, people you love. That part. Hold on. The people that you love, that you spend time with, that time is not refundable. See, Jace, I figured out something. I, like you, have relationships that did not come to full fruition. The time, it's not so. I had some good days, some bad days. Guess what? I look at all the relationships, and I've had a few, and I say to myself, you know, and right now I am in a wonderful marriage. However, I look at good days and bad days, and guess what I realize? You can't redeem the time. The time cannot. Listen, I can fix everything else. Watch this. Believe it or not, you can fix the mistrust. You can fix the lies. You can fix everything, but what you can't recoup is the time. Once the time is gone, it's gone. It's gone. It's done.
You cannot get forgiveness when you've already missed the time.
Think about that with your children.
So many fathers think that don't you try to go back getting forgiveness and clarity when you haven't spent the time. If you haven't if that time was taken away from you, then that's a whole different story. But if you purposely walked away from that time and missing those days, and even if you did it in the name of providing and working, for kids, that they don't care about that, and we as fathers got to remind the mothers of that. Hey, I was a kid. I knew my dad paid child support, but he wasn't there. It didn't mean anything. We need to show women and let them know for our children how much important it is that our time is there.
That part. See. People ask, what has happened to this generation? Us? Hold it. I'm going to tell you what happened. Because belt got put to ass to Jason and myself, Jason and myself said, oh, no, I'm not going to put belt to ass to my kids. Oh, hold up. And I'm going to let the modern way of raising my kids work. And don't get me wrong. I said all this week, if you've been listening, in evolution, if you don't evolve, you become extinct. But in the process of evolution, don't forget about everything. Some things from the past need to be moved forward into the future because they worked. You can't just all of a sudden do a clean slate and say, I'm starting over. See, here's the problem with today's generation, us, because we were too busy paper chasing instead of rearing our kids. We were too busy. Guess what? We were so much not wanting to be like our moms and dads that we forgot that sitting down at least one time a day at a dinner table and having conversation connected us as a family. My parents knew what was going on with me, even if I didn't tell them what was going on with me, because conversations with me would show my expressions and they'd be like, something ain't right with Joe. What happened? Did a little girl piss him off at school today? Is he mad? My dad would sometimes tell me, boy, come on the porch and let's talk.
Yeah. My papa, hey, we're just gonna go for a walk. The wind's
Right,
blowing. We're gonna
right,
go. We're just gonna go walk and talk.
right, right, right.
If I was getting frustrated with school or frustrated with my mom, but hey, and my papa rescued me from my mom many times. It's just like, no, no, no. Because again, I don't think that women understand or they've been taught how to be muses in their motherhood. Again, they've only learned how to be manager mommies. They haven't learned how to be muses, especially for young black boys. And that's what I don't know why we keep learning all this other stuff in college. That's what we need to be learning. And there was one more thing. You say you had a few relationships. What is the number of few? Or because I mean, I think few is like what, 2 or 3, or are you just saying few is like, like what is your number of few? Is it
Okay,
over
o-
30? You, I don't think you can use the few words, sir.
okay. So I kind of lost audio there. Eddie Barnett, I'm going to call you back because I know Eddie probably had something he wanted to say. We had lost connection. I'm working with some new equipment here. I'm trying to update the studio. To be exact, enjoy the studio this year because when I come back, the background, everything is going to be totally different. There will be a whole new studio, and I'm working on a lot of stuff to improve this. I'm very blessed that I have a brother in Berlin, Germany right now who is a part of this vehicle called hashtag truth be told because we tell our truth. And he comes on from time to time, and I'm so blessed to have my good friend because he speaks truth to power. He speaks truth, period. And sometimes his truth might not be a digestible truth for a lot of y'all, but it is good truth. And it is chicken soup for the soul. And I love
Thank you.
that, man. I appreciate because sometimes you even make me pause and say, you know what? I need to relook at this thing. I need to relook at this thing. So let me see. Can I get Brother Barnett on the line? Because he tried to call in, and let me see. Do I got everything hooked up correct now? I should. Phone is ringing. Because I'll call you. You
Good
ain't got to
morning,
call me.
good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Barnett. How you doing on this beautiful
Man,
Freedom and Fun
Freedom
Friday?
and Fun Friday. Oh man, I'm good, man. Of course, good morning, Brother Joe. Good morning, Broken Berlin. Of course, whenever I got a chance to connect in, man, I was dropping my daughters to the bus stop. So I was trying to get that time in.
I'm
before
ringing
they
the bell.
school.
Real father, real man. You heard what he said. He didn't say he letting the bus pick him up. He said, I'm dropping my daughters off at the bus stop. That needs a round of applause. Black fathers doing
And
black things that, guess what?
yeah.
We do that. We are fathers. We're real fathers, real men. Don't let them fool you. They
Oh yeah,
tell
we
you
out
that we're
here.
not, but we are.
We are out here, man. We are doing it. And of course, whenever I tapped into the conversation, Brother Broken Berlin was, man, he was on fire with some of the things that, he was discussing when it came to discipline. And I actually, me and my wife, going on 19 years of, going on 20 years of marriage this year. And that's
Congrats.
something
Black
that we
love. Big ups
adopted.
to black love.
Yeah.
Big ups to black love.
Shit,
Yes.
20 years in this
So,
society is a 50-year anniversary. When you have your
mhm.
go crazy for your 20-year anniversary, sir.
Yes,
Do
sir.
not don't you skimp on it. 20 years is a blessing.
Wow, yes, sir. And we of course, brought up 4 kids, two sons who recently graduated from high school. I still have 2 daughters that are still in school, and we adopted that model whenever we were starting out with kids, raising kids. My mindset whenever I first brought my first kid into this world was to make sure that I have the responsibility that they come up and they see their mother and their father. My father, if I was, and it's not going to be long with the story, but my father was a child support payer, but wasn't a present dad.
Right.
So I, so whenever I got older, and I was like, man, if I had it in my mind, if I'm going to bring a kid into this world, and especially a son, then he's going to see the model that I always wanted to see whenever I was young, because I seen it around me, but I didn't get a chance to actually experience it on my own. But whenever we got married and we connected with the discipline part, of course, we know we had to bring about discipline because we are religious people. Our marriage, we was in the church and grew up in the, not grew up, but came together in the church. And we knew that we had to discipline our kids. And I'm going to say it like this. I told my my wife, that I'm going to discipline the boys
Mm.
and you're going to discipline the girls, because I wanted that to be, because I felt like my wife has a understanding. That's some things that my daughters, they try to get away with on me, that as a woman, she knows, hey, Eddie, they trying to get away on, because she was a girl at one point. And
Yeah.
I told her the same thing about my sons. Like, hey, I'm a man. I've been a boy. I know what we try to get away with. So I can catch them when they're on some shady stuff. And I deal with scripture where it says, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Mm.
And I did discipline my sons. My sons are not perfect by no stretch of the imagination. But I can tell you one thing: the reason they are not out there sagging their pants, the reason they are not out there with no guns killing nobody, the reason why they are actually, men that are being productive in this society, is because of the discipline that was given to them, that came in the form of whipping.
So Eddie, I have a question to ask. I don't know if you've seen the video of the lady in Mobile, Alabama.
I didn't. I seen the last video I seen was the guy that whipped his son, and everybody was going crazy.
Well, you got to see it.
Yeah, you got to see it, man.
And once again,
Yeah.
to me, belt to ass is just that, belt to ass. Now, me personally,
Right. Yeah.
me personally, as a father of young men like yourself and a father of daughters like yourself, I understand, because you're dealing with two totally different individuals, physically, mentally, structurally.
Yeah.
As a man, if I don't want another man to put his hands on my daughter, I shouldn't put my hand on my daughter.
Exactly.
You see, so, but as a man, I understand with sons, and once again, Black children will deal with, and that's why I don't want nobody, and somebody gonna come back, because people tried to come at me yesterday and I had to check a whole bunch of people. I stand 10 toes down. I'm not gonna have anybody who has basked in the ambience of white privilege try to sit down and go, woe is me. I know how it feels to go through a Black plight. You don't know jack about Black plight, Black struggle, or Black problems. So you're not gonna sit there as a white privileged individual. I don't give a damn if you were the first person in politics. I don't give a damn if you were the first person, a CEO of the company, and go, oh, you just don't know what I went through to get this position. Well, baby, let me tell you what I know you didn't go through. You didn't go through living in the hood in a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 people living in 1 bedroom and no mattress and everybody sleeping on the floor. That's something you ain't never did. You don't know how it feels to have to make a choice between the lights and food on the table. And you probably don't know how it feels not to have not ate in 3 or 4 days because mama ain't got it. But you want to call us all of a sudden, compare your plights of you just don't know how it felt to go through what I went through, because I had to go through to get to this. I ain't saying you didn't go through something, but what you went through wasn't nothing like going through being Black in America. So don't make the comparison, because if you do, I'm checking your ass every time. And I don't care who called me.
We have the human experience.
Right.
The human experience. Everybody goes through a human experience, but there's also, like you said, a Black experience. And that's one of the things that always have bothered me, and I'm definitely not trying to be political, but whenever you have some of these people that come up that try to speak for us from the other side, that try to say what we've been going through, and the reason why they are doing something is because of how bad it was for us. No, we know how to explain our story. We don't need nobody to try to defend us, because we are survivors. We are resilient people. We are structured people. We are great people for the stuff that we have gone through to be to where we are today. And that's why a lot of times it hurts my heart whenever I see some of the things that we have allowed, in, but that just came in through people that don't look like us,
right?
That infiltrated us and put us in and have us acting out in position that was never us, So we're in a position where we can do better. We just have to really catch our heads right now. And discipline, like I said, this discipline is something that's actually lacking in our community. And the fact that because we're seeing it, and like I said, I never saw the video, but we have to get to that place of discipline and learning, because like I said, my wife, she works in the education system, and she sees the kids coming in now and the mindset of the parents today on, I'm not going to do what my parents did to me. Well, you're kind of working and you're doing something good for yourself. It wasn't that bad, the fact that you got a little bit of, whippings to actually line you back up and correct your behaviors.
Look, family. The problem is, and Eddie, I'm going to say this again, we just don't know ourselves. And because we don't know ourselves, and we always try to base Black excellence on modern times, we don't understand. See, give you a prime example. Right now, if I jump on here and talk about Paul Revere, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming. Mostly everybody, especially me, you, and Brother Jason, we know that. We say, oh, Paul Revere, yeah, the British are coming. But if I brought up another name, if I brought up the name, hold up, if I brought up the name Mr. Cheswell, you say Cheswell, who you talking about? If I said, well, let's talk about Wentworth Cheswell, somebody would say, well, who's Wentworth Cheswell? Well, Wentworth
It's like a SpongeBob character.
Right. Who? Yeah. That's a SpongeBob character. See, Black excellence has always been here. Black excellence was here when some of us were enslaved. There was still Black excellence. Wentworth Cheswell was literally the Black Paul Revere, and did more than Paul Revere in letting the colonists know that the British were coming. And wait a minute. Since they try to make it seem like the only people protecting and serving this country are Caucasians, no. Black folks have died in every war to liberate this place every time.
Crispus Attucks.
That's the point. But we don't know. We know Thomas Jefferson. We know Benjamin Franklin. We know George Washington. Right. I can walk right now in the hood and say them names, and everybody say, yeah, somebody even pull out a dollar bill and say, I'm all about George. I'm all, hey, you talking dollar bill. Benjamin, but see, that's right. They don't understand. See, when you have people in Arkansas that formulate an all-white town, and the white town in the charter of the white town say Black people can't live here, we got to start paying attention. But here's what I tell the white folks in that all-white town: take down every stoplight. Because if you don't want Blacks around, you don't need our inventions. So take down every stoplight, and y'all figure out another way to control traffic. Hold up. Take the air conditioners out your house. Take the air conditioners out your house, because Black people created the coolant that makes the air conditioner. Come on,
and move out of Washington, D.C. because that brother built the entire blueprint of what Washington, D.C. was going to be.
Right. I would say this. Whenever people try to separate themselves from us, I actually love that, because it actually puts it in a mindset that, hey, that's where you want to be. Go ahead. That's why, I think that is one of, and I'm not talking about anyone here. I'm just saying, I think that is one of our problems, is that everywhere they go, we want to be. Like,
that's where the safety is, sir.
White.
Until we dissect our culture and make ourselves safe around each other, we were always going to be running from each other to follow them. That's why we got to be on code.
Right. We've got to get to a place, in my humble opinion, and I say this to you, Brother Eddie, and I know you probably got to go. And
I'm walking, I'm exercising.
But because it is 42 minutes past the hour. We've got to get to a place, and I always say this often, because Malcolm said it. We got to get to a place that we're beyond this word. Who taught us to hate us? Then we got to move to the places who is going to teach us to love one another, respect one another, live with one another in peace and harmony, and build and grow with one another. See,
that's flourish with each other. See, that's the one.
That's the new evolution and conversation that has to be said amongst ourselves. We got to have in the back of our mind, yes, somebody did teach us to hate one another, but who will be the new Black leader, or the new revolutionary that says the hate is done, let's learn to love. The hate, the competition is done, let's work on collaboration. The
And
training is done.
see
Let's
the arguments that we're having as a culture. And I was just saying this to a homegirl. I was like, look, so many men have a problem with women in their wigs and the whole thing, right? And okay, fine. But how about instead of us trying to tell women what they should be doing, because we got to think on a global scale, the hair industry is how so many black women support themselves within their own infrastructure. So they support,
Right.
they
Right.
make money with each other. So instead of us trying to tell them, hey, you shouldn't even be doing this and making money this way, how about we build a factory that actually does send hair out. And so we can actually keep that money within themselves and put the money back into the women's
Yeah.
pockets. So if we have a problem with the wigs, instead of us just saying, oh, you shouldn't be wearing wigs, how about we meet them halfway with a solution that actually benefits the community? It's an easy thing. Why can't we just
That is
come up with
right.
some sort of factory or something where we are getting the hair and giving it to the sisters to have the bundles and the wigs, and then it goes right into our own public schools that we start building?
and that's
That we
where
build.
where
Right.
and no offense, let me say this again, Brother Eddie, this is not a shot at you or the evangelical community. Once again, we have to start operating in economics and high levels of finance outside of the church, because too many times there have been
Yeah.
pulpit pimps and
Oh yeah.
money launderers who have operated
Yes.
under the auspice that I am preaching the gospel.
Yes.
See,
Oh,
when
I
hold on, I
agree.
got to right. What the
your
hell does
pastor,
auspice mean?
hold
Don't
it.
be wrapping them words. What is? I can't even spell auspice. What's
Okay,
auspice mean?
All right.
Brother
Yeah, break
Broken
it down a little
Berlin,
bit
that
for us
means
slow
they
folks, man.
have looked so much like a sheep, but they were disguised. They was a sheep in disguise. They were wolfing the whole time. See, when you
Gotcha.
go to a church, and the only people who are prospering in the church is the leadership and the pastor, but everybody else is barely making it, you got to pay attention, because that means somehow or
Man,
another, I'm convincing you to sow into my dream and telling you to do
great.
it
That's
under
right.
the auspice, under the umbrella of this is what God said. No, God didn't tell me to invest in you. God told me to invest in myself.
Yeah. And
Man,
Christianity
look
is
at
supposed to
this,
be in
man.
minimalism.
We
Christianity is
yeah,
completely anti-capitalism. And I'm not a
Mhm.
Christian. I just
it's
analyze the world
very
for what it
supposed
is.
to be. No,
Christianity
that's
and,
right.
and
And I
capitalism have
absolutely
doomed this world as a tandem. I'm
yeah.
not saying Christianity is bad. I'm just saying what Christians have done in the name of Christianity is
No,
beyond
but
demonic.
I put ourselves I put ourselves in a position right now, as speaking as a Christian,
Mhm.
and what I observe concerning the current state of the church, and some of the points that thing that Brother Joe talked about, that not just white evangelicals, but even our own culture, where
Right.
we
Yeah.
have these people that are not
In
like
Africa
there
too, it's
was
even worse.
Africa is bad.
Yeah.
Africa is bad,
Oh, I
but they
know.
have
I
allowed
deal with
that.
them here.
There's this pastor. He brought the Bentley inside the church, and he said, "Hey, church, this is for the church. This is the church Bentley." So one of the members rose up and said, "Hey, can I drive it, Pastor?" Pastor said, "No, only the pastor gets to drive this." Like, so we have allowed, like that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this, and this is a statement I y'all to take. A lot of these churches need to be sued for false advertising, because they are not churches. A lot of these churches need to be sued for false advertising, because
I like
there's
that,
no
Eddie.
representation of Christianity there.
Eddie, I like that. Because listen, just because you figured it out, and don't get me wrong, here's another thing I think black and brown folks have to stop doing. If I figure it out, I have figured it out to take the secret sauce and to share it with others, not to figure it out. I understand you need to make sure that you're good. But see, too many times, right now, folks know. That's why if y'all so in love with certain politicians, but y'all don't know how these politicians are now structuring things, because they have figured out, okay, this Constitution has made it that if I formulate a religion or a church, I have a tax-free organization that really the government can't get into. Right now, hold it. I give you a prime example. I was reading this last night, and I had to read it because of an investigation I'm doing. So I can let you know a little bit of some things I do. So it's nothing wrong with this. I was reading about Scientology, which is a religion, which is protected by the Constitution in the United States of America of separation of church and state. People who believe in the religion of Scientology, they literally believe that when they die, they're going to some planet. I don't forget the name of the planet because I'm still working on all this. But mind you, there are major money folk who belong to this religion called Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
It is Scientology, when it comes down to religion, is actually the second largest grossing religion on this planet outside of Catholicism.
Wow.
That means the Catholic Church has more money than anybody, and after them comes the Scientologists. Bruh.
Ooh, there's some money. There's some money laundering, and wow, I didn't know.
So my question is this: I know Christians, I know Catholics. I ain't never ran into a person who says, you know, I'm a practicing Scientologist.
Scientologist.
Mm-hmm. But eventually there's some folk out there with some real money in this thing, because it's the second largest grossing religion outside of Christianity. So hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, family. See, once again, stop giving me the okie doke. Once again, and no offense, Eddie, I have children that are biracial, that are mixed with black race and white race. I have been with a white woman. We have made a handsome son. I have children. Hold it. And if you do your DNA, you'll find out there's some white in you too. We're going to talk about this on another day, another time, because I'm 9% Scottish. So just like white folks who all of a sudden are 3% Native American start wanting all the benefits of being a Native American, I'm 9% Scottish, and I need all my I'm actually going to show up in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I'm going to talk to a couple of dukes, kings, barons, and duchesses, and all them folks, and I'm going to say, you know, I have some royal blood in me. I need my proper piece of the rock. Since you can come over here and say I'm 3% Native American, y'all got to give me my incentive. I need my incentive.
Brother Joe, they actually got it though. Whenever you deal with the $5 Indians and all of these people that pay this $5 to become Native Americans, and they receive the benefits of it.
See,
that is the thing.
That's the point. That's the point.
Miss on, because, and that's why you see. And look, I'm not going to say this, but I was so happy whenever they called out the fake Indian that kept trying to put herself up there like she was a Native American.
Elizabeth Warren,
European white woman.
Elizabeth
Warren, and they called her out. They was like, no, that who Pocahontas? Like he clowned her because y'all stole. Like that's what it is. Like they go in there, they pay the $5, they start naming themselves things. But like you said, Brother Joe, you got this 6%, but you can't go and collect anything. But they actually benefited from it.
Right. That's the thing. He can though. That's the trick. He can though. Cause we're just told as Black Americans we can't. He lit.
Right.
That's the way white supremacy works. If you understand, all you need is the knowledge. Once you understand that you can do these certain things, you can go get it. You just got to know how to say it.
Hold it. And let me say this: Broken Berlin is correct, because I will say this. Before I knew I was 9% Scottish, and Eddie, this is long before I met you, but in my early traveling in our fraternity, I was stationed in Great Britain, and because I am a Scottish Rite Mason, I wanted to go to Scotland to the Grand Lodge, the Grand Universal Lodge in Edinburgh. And when I went there and presented my paperwork and told them who I was, they did open the doors and treat me with hospitality as if I was a fellow brother. And guess what? Once I gave them the word, the grip, and bestowed my paperwork, they said, welcome in, brother. And they actually gave me a tour of the Universal Grand Lodge there in Edinburgh. And it was funny because at that time I didn't have ancestor DNA, where we could know who we were. But one of the guys said, man, you could be, because there was a black guy who was Scottish who was a baron. And he told me, I have royal blood of Great Britain in me through slavery and through the colonization, and I am a baron here. And he said, you know what? Maybe if you trace your roots, you might be of royal lineage too. If so, come back home to your people.
And if you don't think that we're your people, then come and become and create your people here. We'll give you the protection and the infrastructure and the foundation for you to build
Wow.
your people here, which is what a lot of black people are doing. They're going to Thailand to build their people there because it's harder to build your
I
people
heard.
in America. There's too many distractions, and sometimes the same thing with my mother and
Mm.
sister in
Too many
Rwanda.
distractions.
You just got to get into some place where you are peace and be able to wake up with no news drama, just have peace, and then after about a year of that, you can start building up your foundation.
Eddie, it is 7 minutes to the top of the hour, man. I appreciate you calling in. You're always welcome, man. Be good on
sir.
your workout. I'm going to be working out this evening. Maybe we need to get up and work out together. We're going to call each other
Yeah.
and talk
Some
about
evening.
that. All
That'd be
right.
good. That'd be
Eddie,
good,
before
man.
you go, can
And
you
I
hear me?
yo, yes, sir.
Eddie, can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Do you have a blender
Blender.
in your house? Do you have a blender?
Oh, blender. Yes, sir.
Blend garlic into all of your meals, and it will start to increase your metabolism. You'll start to spark your brain and make you wake up. And man, I just want to go for a walk. Blend garlic into all of your meals,
Okay.
and it'll get the parasites out. It'll get the vessels open. Just put garlic in your diet, and you will see the results within 3 days.
Yes, sir. I will start incorporating that. Thank you for that wisdom.
All
Not a
right,
problem,
brother
sir.
Eddie. You be good, man. You be good. Broken
Y'all
Berlin.
be blessed, man.
All right. Broken Berlin. What time is it in Germany right now?
It is 5 minutes till 2:00. I'm about to get ready to go and get my kids.
Okay. About to go get your shearing. Real father, real man. Look, man, I got to get up out of here. I got a lot to do. I'm finally get a weekend, a break before next weekend. It's going to be bedlam and chaos. Man, I appreciate you coming on this week. I know you come on from time to time. You know, whenever you're ready, the door is always open because I send you the link every day. And
I know.
because I love you guys. Y'all are my tribe, my people, my brothers. You're one of my brothers you my little brother. And I got to make sure my little brother has a place that when he wants to say something, he can say it. And guess what? It's no judgment zone here. We say what we got to say, and we stand 10 toes down in it. And if we're wrong, we reconvene, look at it, and say after a little studying and a few other things, after further review, we come back to reverse a few things. But this is the place where you can talk about it, brother. I'm gonna open up the flow to you. You can say what you got to say. Let's get ready to get up out of here, man.
Okay, give me 40 seconds. Okay,
You got
for
all
any
of it. You
ladies-
got, man. Look, we got 5 minutes. Do your thing.
I'll do it quick. Again, the lady had every right to an extent to do what she did. Again, she has to live with that child. She has to rear that child in whatever situation they're in. Yes, there are better ways she could have done it, but again, maybe she was trying to do the right thing. I think we need to understand, though, it's the part that she did after the whooping that we all as people can learn from. So again, mothers, if you have to do that and there's no men in the okay, but look at what happened after the whipping was over. It was supposed to be okay, reflection time. Let's talk. Not I'm still mad at you after I'm done beating you and chastising him and punking him. That's the part that is wrong. Everything else before that is understandable. Even after the fact, when we had it, I remember my mom whooping my ass, but then you know what we had afterwards? A conversation. Now, did the conversation land every time? Always no, because I'm still thinking, yo, you just beat the shit out of me. But at least we had the conversation after, and she had never once did anything where she picked me up by my shirt collar, shaking me and cursing me out and calling me all kind of names and telling me I'm gonna listen. That's never happened. If you find yourself in that vibration, pull back, reach and speak to people and get some help for your children because your children don't deserve that. The belt to ass might have been necessary, but everything after the fact, that's not. And I'll land there.
Oh, hold on, Jace. I gotta hold you.
Mhm.
James Vincent, my childhood friend, said something that we have to always keep in the back of our head. Words matter. Words matter.
He'll remember those words longer than that ass whooping.
No. Not only that, there will probably come a day that he'll be a husband, a father himself, and his significant other or wife may go off on him. And guess what she's going to say? I have the right to do this. I saw a video where a woman said that. A woman told a man he'd been working a 12-hour shift, came home, laid down. She said, no, it's not time to lay down. It's not time to lay down. You can't come home after a 12-hour shift and lay down. And he said, what gives you the authority to tell me not to lay down? She pointed to her ring. Because in this Willie Lynch society that we live in, slavery is on different level. Ownership is on different levels. No, nobody owns me. Nobody can tell me what to do except myself and the creator. Everybody else can suggest. Oh, you can advise. You can say, from what I've been through, I recommend, but you can't tell me what to do. Because the only person that can tell me what to do is myself and the creator.
And your youngest daughter, right? And the youngest daughter. I mean,
well,
she be okay.
Hold it. The youngest daughter know how to manipulate the game. See, we had that conversation earlier this week. You know, grand manipulation is always in full effect because guess what? Mothers and fathers, we have all taught our kids in certain levels the Jedi arts of these aren't the droids that you are looking for.
The little daughter's big eyes, boy. I'm like, I'll almost kick my daughter when she tried it because it's like, get it away,
brother.
No, yes,
brother. That is a Sith Lord in training.
You know you wrong. You know you wrong. Why are you making me feel bad for you?
Hold it. Yes. On the cool, when old boy was talking that noise, and Vader said, and he said, "Oh, your skills have not conjured up the." And Vader said, "Wait a minute. See, that's what our kids do to us, and we don't even catch it. We be like, oh God, I can't breathe." Wow.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be mad at you. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I can't breathe. All right. Man, listen, love you, dog. Have a great weekend.
I will.
Enjoy the time. And look, we're gonna be seeing each other soon. I'm gonna let you know all about it. I'm gonna be making my way. I'm coming back to Germany.
It's waiting for you.
I know it is.
There's a community here that you will be
look, brother,
impressed by.
I lived on the Academy. I lived in Nuremberg.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Dusseldorf. I lived in Mönchengladbach. I lived over the border in the Netherlands. I lived in Brunsum. I lived in Sittard.
You ain't lived Berlin. It's a whole other story out here.
Hey, I used to come to Berlin and visit a good friend of mine, and you're right, Berlin is a whole different animal. I tell people, if there's 3 places in Europe you really want to live and enjoy yourself. I've lived in Paris. I have lived in the outskirts of London, but they tell me London, Paris, and Berlin, that's the trifecta right there. That's the trifecta.
No,
You're living your best life, brother.
It's now Basel, Switzerland, Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Berlin.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. All right, brother. Look, I got to get up out of here. Love you, dog. Love you.
Be easy, man.
All right, brother. Listen, family, it is 1 minute past the top of the hour. Time for me to get up out of here on this Freedom and Fun Friday. It is the weekend before the Bayou Classic. Next week is all Bayou Classic week. We're broadcasting live from New Orleans. We're broadcasting live from the Caesars Superdome. You can catch us on multiple days. We're going to broadcast live this year from the Battle of the Bands. And we're going to broadcast live from the actual Bayou Classic. So catch #TruthBeTold/JD Live all in New Orleans during the Bayou Classic week. Thanksgiving is literally a few days away. Every day should be Thanksgiving. Every day you should be giving thanks. I don't need a day charted on a calendar to give thanks. But since they set this aside, and understand, if I was a Native American, I don't know if Thanksgiving would be a holiday I'm actually proud to celebrate, but neither here nor there. Let me get up out of here. Be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to bless somebody somewhere that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way that could ever pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others. Willing he can do for you, for when God is with you, nothing, no one can stand against you. Have a great weekend. Lord say the same. We'll be back next week. We out of here. Peace.